Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while, and as you know, my videos are generally long, so I can't really be posting every day. I gotta plan, I gotta work things out, I gotta figure out what's really, you know, missing or matching. Then I can come up with something fun for you guys. So today, I have something that I thought of from the very beginning, but I really needed the time to assure myself that that's the probability. So, first off, let me just say that Thanos already won. In the reality where the Avengers finally defeat Thanos, the Thanos of that reality has already won. So let me go about, I have a compilation of facts, so I will run through it. But if this is your first time, once again, welcome, 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 welcome. And without further ado, let's move on. So this is the first scene where we see the Avengers kind of discussing the origins of where Thanos is right now after having done the snap. So this was also, as I mentioned, a plot hole story where I already covered this in my 50 plot holes. I will link all of my other videos down for you guys because some of you guys have a lot of questions that I have answered previously. But I would gladly answer it if it's like something really difficult for you to understand. You want me to explain something, I'll try my best. But of course, if anyone else understands what someone's asking, go ahead and help them out in the comments because I've seen some of you guys doing that and it's really helpful. And it does not only help other people, but it helps me as well because sometimes it either gives me a better understanding or it assures me of my understanding. Or sometimes it's something I had no idea of, and you guys just have amazing theories. So, yeah, go ahead and leave your explanations. So, in this scene, we see Gamora saying that she knows where Thanos is, and then in the end, she just says that Thanos always says he's going to a garden, which doesn't make any sense because 5 seconds later, Rocket says he found where Thanos is because of like an energy resonance created by Thanos destroying the stones. So now that Thanos has destroyed the Infinity Stones, the Avengers finally come up with the entire quantum tunnel theory to say that you can travel back in time by shrinking, which is something completely out of the ordinary. But they went for the long shot and they pulled it off. So I'm not going to be too picky on the time travel thing because I've already done that and everything is one massive plot hole. This film is a plot hole, it's a trash film. But let's just understand why Thanos won. All right. So the second scene, we see Banner go back to meet the Sorcerer Supreme of the time, and the Ancient One literally knocks the soul out of Banner, like literally. And this scene was also very weird for me because Banner straight up went to steal the Time Stone. He didn't ask the Ancient One for it politely, and he's just like, "I'm not asking." Like, you're a super genius doctor, and Banner seems to be like the reasonable one of the bunch. Yet he just went straight up. I guess they just wanted to show this cool scene where the Sorcerer Supreme knocks out his soul, so they got to have that. Well, whatever. So after this, right, Cap does something really stupid, which is this Hail Hydra scene. So the whole point of the Avengers needing to be discreet is because they don't want to affect things in this timeline. They want to keep things as steady as possible. But when Cap says Hail Hydra, he is literally dooming the Captain America of this reality. We also see that in a later portion of the film. So, by saying Hail Hydra now, if Cap were to come back in time here to return the stones, how is he going to undo this part? Because if he returns the stones at the time it was taken, like being bagged, then he would definitely be seen. So he has to be able to like come to the point where he walks out of the lift with the stone, or the part before Cap says Hail Hydra, where there's no like a window for. So Hydra now thinks that the Captain America of this reality is part of Hydra, and the Captain doesn't know it. The righteous captain actually comes to defend the Tesseract, the Space Stone, sorry, the Mind Stone, right? Not the Tesseract, the Mind Stone, Loki's staff, thinking that this Captain America is actually Loki. And then the Cap is seen using the staff to kind of brainwash this Captain America. So as you know how the staff works is it turns your darkest side against you, and then turns you into something evil, something more enhanced, but you are still in control of the wielder of the staff. But now that this Captain America, who just mentioned Hail Hydra, has left, that there could be a possibility that Hydra now finds this new Captain America on the ground and takes him in, thinking that he was actually part of Hydra, and then that Loki escaped with the staff, and he tried to stop Loki. So he will be hailed as a Hydra hero, and now he does have his darker side turned against him, so he may actually be part of Hydra, confirming the loop that this Cap is now part of Hydra. I saw someone else mention this in the comments as well. I do agree with you. I had this in mind, but now it is fulfilled. So it's pretty cool that possibility is shown here. But what are the implications of this? So now we see the most important scene, which, if I mentioned I mentioned this in my time travel theory, which was Banner like already says that you can't change the past, but now, when he meets the Ancient One, a lot of things are assured, which is every time uh, take a stone and then travel to the future or come back to the past and make changes, a change of events, you are creating a new branch reality. But without the stone, you can see that the branch reality is dark. And the reason it's dark is because the Sorcerer Supreme believes that you are dooming yourself without the appropriate weapon for the Sorcerer Supreme. So creating branch realities are fine for the Sorcerer Supreme. It's just creating them without the Time Stone or without the Reality Stone is the problem, because you're creating a reality without the balance of power. So I also mentioned this before. Hang on, let me just mute whatever hell notification I'm getting. All right. So I also mentioned this before, where the Sorcerer Supreme clearly doesn't stop them. She doesn't care about time travelers. So yeah, I guess she doesn't really care about the implications they create in these new realities. But for her, the balance of power is more about the existence of the Infinity Stones. So she says that it creates what you kind of believe or you other perceive as time. So without the reality stones, time is something that would be unstable. So this is what we can conclude from it. We also see Hank Pym being called, a prank call by Captain America, told that some package or something is exploding. How does Cap know that there's actually going to be a package that's going to be glowing? So this doesn't really make sense, because Captain America should not know that Hank Pym actually has a glowing package. He doesn't know anything about Hank Pym, to be honest. And Hank goes after it. But Hank is now going to come back, and he's going to clearly see that vials of Pym particles are missing. And now he could probably start a rebellion against S.H.I.E.L.D. because he no longer trusts them, knowing that Pym particles are missing. And he's probably combating Hydra since back in the day, so he may have already debunked that there is a portion of Hydra in S.H.I.E.L.D. and he could have rebelled against it, and it could have been war, and we wouldn't know. We also see the future Thanos. This is very far down the road of the film. Future Thanos, which is Thanos from reality B, come into reality A, which is the current reality. So, of course, you can say that, oh, but Thanos is still a bad guy. It's fine if they kill him. But you don't understand the implications the other Thanos may have had in that reality. The other Thanos may have done something good somewhere, such as the forming of the Guardians, which will never happen now. And also, we don't know how important the obliteration of Xandar was. Like, destruction of Xandar may have created some heroes which are vital for the universe, which we may not see. The Nova Corps may still exist as a result as well. We don't know. And of course, without a Thanos to fight in the other Avengers, Tony Stark would not have faced the Chitauri invasion. So after the Battle of New York, there's not going to be any more assault on them from Thanos, which means Tony Stark, he has PTSD, right, from the Chitauri invasion, so he thinks that Thanos is coming. But now Thanos will never come, making him somewhat of a fanatic defender which will also doom that reality. Um, so that could be creepy because Tony Stark will just be waiting and be like, no, something is coming, but something's never going to come because he came here and died here. And the other Gamora is here as well. The other Nebula is here as well. The entire Black Order is here. We don't know their implications to reality. So now all of this tells you that these Avengers, the Avengers that are in reality A, they don't care about the other realities. They are actually villains. And Thanos actually won by making them these villains because he destroyed all of the reality stones. So Thanos actually doomed all of the other realities because these Avengers are traveling now to multiple realities to gather the stones. Not one, multiple. The reason Widow was trying to figure out the fact that, oh, New York actually had three stones is not just for convenience, because convenience is not necessary. They could just travel to any reality at any point in time. This is already shown. They can travel to the Guardians, they can travel to Thor Ragnarok, they can travel to 1970. So the point in time and the place they travel to is not a problem at all. The only problem is the fact that they don't want to travel to too many realities, maybe because they understood the implications, but it seems like they never did. Because in the end, they did end up traveling to multiple realities, dooming multiple realities as a result of Thanos' snap to destroy the stones, of course. I don't know whether he snapped or how exactly he destroyed it, but he destroyed it nonetheless. And then we see Doctor Strange actually teleporting in with a massive armada. So we don't know if he teleported everyone else from the universe who died because the army doesn't seem that big. But we clearly see that he managed to teleport the Guardians in, the Guardians who were in Titan. So they disappeared on Titan, but he managed to teleport them back here. So does this mean that the snap actually brings everyone to Earth? Unlikely, because clearly you didn't bring everyone else in the universe. So it means that Doctor Strange could actually use his portals to teleport people across planets, which means from Titan, he teleported the Guardians back to Earth. And don't know whether he teleported those sinking in submarines, those flying in airplanes. Of course, we don't know how exactly he did this, but he managed to pull it off, maybe together with the rest of the Sanctum. So let's just assume that he's powerful enough to teleport everyone across everywhere from across the planets. He could have just done this during Infinity War and ended the film by teleporting Thor or teleporting Thanos on Titan, to where Thor was on Earth. But assuming he doesn't know that Thor was on Earth, he could have just teleported, Thanos to someplace else, someplace he may never get the stones. Or since the Russo brothers said that his portals can't cut off Thanos' arm, they could have also transported the Infinity Stone straight to the van that they were using to send it back to its own reality, which still doesn't make sense to me. So here's why, right? All right, you know what? I think I gotta pull my old friend Microsoft Paint for this. So let me just quickly create a timeline for you guys to try to explain. Okay, let's see. How thick can I make this? Brushes. Can I use this one? No, it's not thick enough. How about this one? Nope, not thick enough. So, what I'm about to show you. Oh no, this is horrifying. Size. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. So, of course, there's this part, right? I'll explain to you what I mean by it doesn't matter if they return the stones, right? So before that, let me just show you the last scene, which was Captain America. So I'm gonna like carefully add in a new capture. Is it this one? No, it's not. Da, 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 da. Okay, yep, Paint. All right, there we go. So you guys now can see my Microsoft Paint. Excellent. So what I mean by it doesn't matter which point in time, whether they return the stones or not. Here's the reason for it. So this is the current day, right? Let's say reality A. So now the Avengers have jumped back in time to the point Banner met Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. So you see, the thing is that These Avengers did not know about the implications of the branch reality, causing mayhem, time travel, until they went back in time. So until Banner met the Sorcerer Supreme of Reality B, he did not know that taking the Infinity Stones actually dooms the reality. This means that the Avengers are just like a bunch of kids playing with time travel. They don't care about the actual implications of it. They are willing to destroy other realities to save their own. So this means all of these Avengers are actually villains. So now Banner finally knows about this destruction of the reality. He says that if we can go back in time to the exact point which we took the stones, then this branch reality will not happen. So that's his theory. So if this is true, it doesn't matter how far this reality goes into collapse. As long as they go back in time to return the stones, then this branch reality is taken away. So during the war, when they actually face the other Thanos, right? They actually face this Thanos. It doesn't matter if they return the stones or not, because they will have to go to multiple realities to do it. So Captain Marvel trying to fly through the time portal with the gauntlet makes no sense, because Captain Marvel doesn't have Pym particles. What is she trying to do flying to the van? Like, what is the point of that scene where Thanos throws the spear to destroy the van when Captain Marvel is flying to it? That scene is pointless because she can't time travel without Pym particles. And even if she does time travel, she needs several vials of Pym particles because she needs to go back to multiple realities to return it. Because I've also shown this before. There's 1970, there's 2012, oops, there's one more which is 2014, and then there's Thor Ragnarok, which happens somewhere here, somewhere in between. So all of these branch realities have to be traveled to return the stones, but they don't care about that because you can return back at any time, and there is no difference because you're time traveling. So as long as you go back, it doesn't matter when you go back. You can go back at any time, but you always can go back to the same point in time. So there's no difference there. So the Avengers are just destroying other realities for the sake of their own. So this is basically my theory of it. So the last portion is this one, the most vital portion, which is how the old Cap is now in this reality. So the Russo brothers gave a absolute bullshit explanation saying that this Cap actually time traveled, which doesn't make sense because he didn't end up on the platform from which he left. Assuming he time traveled to the coordinates of this bench specifically, it makes him a professional time traveler because he ended up on a bench. Unless, of course, he time traveled with the bench, which would be hilarious, flying to the quantum tunnel together with a bench, which is something me and my friends were laughing about. The theory sounds hilarious because we see that Cap doesn't have a time travel suit. So for the fact that he doesn't have the suit means he did not time travel. So what they're saying is that this Cap actually lived, grew up here, became old here, which also doesn't make sense because no one in this reality knows this. So this happened unless he snuck his entire life to this point, not helping anyone, just living his life as an ordinary person, meaning he threw away his will to do good. He stole this reality, Captain America's wife, because in the past this Cap was frozen in the ice. So he's basically stealing the Peggy Carter, spending sweet time with her while he's frozen in the ice, which is also what a villain would do. So these Avengers are all villains. And the reason this Cap actually made it back to this own timeline, which was clearly impossible before, right? It said that changing the past can't change the future. So my theory is because of this scene, the fact that they have taken these reality stones from all the multiple timelines and messed with each and every timeline. And now, because the Thanos has destroyed the stones in their current timeline, what they perceive as time is all messed up. So the biggest clue for this is the latest Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, which tells you that the multiverses are beginning to kind of mix up. They're colliding because of the fact that there are no Infinity Stones in the current timeline. So that is the reason why this Captain America shows up. So my theory is that this Captain America is not the one that left, but another reality's Captain America who also messed up his timeline and ended up here. So all of the Avengers are villains, and Thanos actually won. Thanos completed his mission the moment he destroyed the stones, dooming this reality once and for all, turning all of the Avengers into villains by making them go and mess other timelines. And this is going to keep happening. And we'll probably see something like this happen in Spider-Man Far From Home and maybe future realities to come, because now all of the realities are doomed because one of them are missing Infinity Stones. So this is my idea. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you guys actually think that I'm crazy or the Russo brothers are crazy. But clearly, the moment Thanos destroyed the stones, everything went crazy. Which is why I believe that Thanos won. He turned all of the Avengers into villains. All of the Avengers destroyed multiple realities now. And the MCU is doomed. And the one that did it was this guy, this purple grapefruit of a villain with a horrifying chin. So yeah, that's my thoughts about it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm sorry if there's a bit of interference in the noise today. I kind of shifted to a new area. Probably should shift back to like a quieter place to record for you guys, but I will work on it. In the meantime, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and that's it. So thanks for watching. Adios.